Really?
You're getting good, yeah, good
I'm scared.
I'm telling people to come and watch.
Sorry. You're doing a mural.
Yeah, I'm coming to this one.
Nice.
Good luck, man.
Thanks.
That joke would depend on the audience, alright? We might even skip it. If they are.
Not an enemy.
Yeah. That's the mic.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Through the speakers? No? I don't know. You can't hear me?
You wanna come closer? Does it matter from where you're sitting?
No, I can project. That's okay.
Can you speak up a little?
How's that?
That's alright.
Naren? Shivani?
No, I can't.
No, where are the speakers? I'll go to the speakers outside. Oh, maybe I'll ask.
It's on the roof. Yeah.
Is it okay?
But I heard you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I heard you earlier.
That mic.
We'll just double check that.
Is that better?
Yes.
Have a chat now.
How's that?
Yep.
Want to check?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking at the chat, so if anyone has questions, I'm going to pass it around.
So,
So thanks, man.
okay.
Good morning, everyone. May I have your attention, please? Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so my name is Naren, and I'm a volunteer with IIBA Melbourne. Our next speaker is someone who's redefining what it means to be a business analyst in the age of digital transformation. Trevin Nimaladasa is the founder of DX Advisory, where he helps organizations translate their technology investments into real business outcomes. Over the past 15 years, Trevin has delivered large-scale transformation programs across infrastructure, utilities, financial services, and government, built and led teams of consultants and helped consultancies achieve gold partner status with vendors like Microsoft for business applications. He's currently leading key initiative at Yarra Valley Water, where he's helping modernize the way their 2 billion plus portfolio, B is billion, right? Okay, is managed and how projects are governed, ensuring teams work smarter, stay aligned, and deliver measurable impact. Trevin is also a speaker at IIBA events and an industry mentor for Monash Business School, where he helps shape the next generation of business analysts, and digital leaders. Outside of project delivery, Trevin's passionate about talking to me, no, I'm just kidding, about elevating the role of BA through his easy resource planning newsletter, mentoring, and speaking. He helps BAs move from tactical to trusted, building what he calls career capital. The assets that make your contributions rare, valuable, and impossible to ignore. So today he's going to unpack the four pillars of that capital: domain, delivery, influence, and IP, and show us how to stand out, stay relevant, and grow our impact in the AI era. Please join me in welcoming Trevin Nimaladasa.
Thank you. Thank you, Naren. Wow, full house. So thanks for not ignoring me, as my title says. Right? So good morning, everyone. Great to see so many faces. Hope you had some coffee, caffeinated, and ready to go. So let's start with a quick pulse check today. Who here has ever felt stuck in their careers? Almost everyone. Like you're working hard, but not really moving forward. And I've been there too. Same title, same project, same everything, but different results each time. Now, some BAs I've noticed throughout the past 10 to 12 years, they skyrocket ahead, and others just kind of hover. And I've been at both places. Why do you think that is? Any guesses? Not noticed. What? But why? Is it luck? Impact? Value? Good. Is it talent? No?
Right opportunity at right time.
Yes?
It can also be that you're in an organization that doesn't really have a career path
Or culture?
or culture to,
Recognize you?
yeah.
Yeah. So what does all of that, what does all of that come into? Say you've got a bad culture, say you don't get recognized as much, but still in organizations like that, I've been in a few, how do you show up in a way where your value is seen? And that concept is what I'm trying to introduce here. It's not a concept that I came up with, called career capital, those rare skills and influence that you build over the years. So, and it's the kind that you build quietly, project after project, while everyone else is busy in delivery land, right? And you know the type, right? Like when the same person's name comes up when something important needs to get fixed. Familiar with those roles? Good. And so career capital, by definition, really is those rare and valuable stuff that you build over time, those skills, the relationship, the credibility that you build, that gives you that leverage and that recognition. And it's not something that I came up with by myself, the title of the talk. It's not that I'm so good that you can't ignore me. This guy here, Dr. Cal Newport, wrote this book with the title, which I used for my talk today. And what he says is it's the skills that you have that are both rare and valuable that can be used as leverage in defining your career to allow you to access better roles, to negotiate flexibility, and to create fulfilling work on your own terms. That's what we are all here to try and figure out, aren't we? Right? And I'm not going to give you a book summary here. You can go on Spotify, you can go on Audible, wherever you listen to your books or read them. I'm trying to take a twist on it on how a BA could use this. And his message is simple, but I want you to take a stab at it. If someone can help me fill in the blanks, the key to a fulfilling career is not what? This might hurt a few people, the answer. Any more answers? It's not passion. Then what is it?
Money.
Definitely money. Money can help, but money is a byproduct of it. Growth, networking. I had skills. Combination of all of that. It's mastering. At least that's what he says. So let's explore that topic a little bit. And that's what today is about. You get good at what you do, then you get leverage, and only then you get that freedom, but freedom to do what? To work more? No, to work on stuff that matters to you, to work on the projects that you love, to create that fulfilling work on your own terms. And that's what we're trying to build upon today, to build on that capital that makes you impossible to ignore. All right? So let's take a step back and just see what the difference is between the ones who grow and the ones who plateau. Now picture this, you have two BAs who start at the same time, same training, same tools, same company. 5 years later, one of them is leading transformation programs, the other one's still taking minutes or signing off UAT checklists. You're probably still doing that while leading a transformation program, but there's a big contrast there. And you don't need to be a BA to do that. I've got a virtual assistant who does that, and she uses AI to do that. Right? So what happened with the other BA? What happened with these two BAs? Any guesses? What happened with the one who grew? What happened with the one who plateaued?
Skill development,
Lack of skill development, good one. Anything else? Growth.
Depends on where their focus is. If the focus is on outputs, like a checklist, then
Yes.
it's harder. But if the focus is on outcome and more value-driven outcomes that they enable the organization to receive, then they'll be on the growth path.
Excellent. That's exactly what I was looking for. One of them treated a project as an assignment. And how do we treat our assignments at uni? Get it done, right? Just get it done. Another person treated it as an investment, as an opportunity. And they put in that mastery, trying to learn what they need to learn to do to get to that outcome that you spoke about, right? So every lesson, every framework, or every insight that you keep, not every deliverable that you keep, but every lesson that you keep, that's a deposit in that career capital. Sorry, missed the animation there. Is a deposit in that career capital bank account that I spoke to you about. And the ones who grow, they invest in that. The ones who plateau, they spend it all on delivery. You've got to deliver, but you've also got to invest in yourself. So what exactly is career capital and how do we measure it? Like I said earlier, it's everything that makes you valuable and hard to replace: your skills, your knowledge, your experience, and your relationships. And here's the thing, titles in any organization, it doesn't guarantee anything anymore. Have you noticed that? And who are we as BAs? We get to lead without authority. Kind of the sweet spot, right? And so what does guarantee trust if titles don't? I think I heard the word from the audience. It's that value that you bring. So how do we create more value with career capital for the organization and yourselves? So in his book, Dr. Newport describes 3 types of career capital. He talks about skill, he talks about social, and then he talks about reputation capital. Now, skills is what you can do, the stuff that you're good at. That's your system knowledge, your ability to facilitate workshops, public speaking. It could be industry knowledge. And then you have social capital. That's what you're doing here, building on your social capital. It's who you know and how you connect, not just the ones you hang out for drinks after work, but the ones that you connect in places like this that hopefully open doors for you and create opportunities for you. You can still go for a beer with them. That's cool. I think there's something at 5 o'clock. So, and the third one is reputation capital. And that doesn't happen without these two. You got to have some skills and some social capital or social skills to have some reputation. So reputation capital is not just a fancy LinkedIn page. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. And now this, like I said, it builds upon those two. But when you build all of these 3, that's when you gain that leverage to decide what projects you want to work with, who you want to work with, and what your terms are. So as business analysts, now these 3 might be Dr. Newport's ones, but as business analysts, what I've noticed over the past couple of years is we've got our own unique twist to this. That business analyst who grows, they've got 4 capitals, the way I see it. And that's what I'm trying to introduce to you today. But let's take a step back and see why BAs need it now. Any guesses? Why do we need career capital as BAs? We're already here at Foba. Why do we need this stuff? AI? Yep. To stand out. The world of work has changed and it's not slowing down anytime soon. AI, yes, it's reshaping every decision we take. Everyone uses it 20 to 50 times a day and spits stuff out that might get recognition, and you might be writing it manually still. We've got, yeah, that's AI. We've got models like agile and product models. We heard all about product earlier in the talk at 9 o'clock. That demands flexibility. It demands you to be anti-fragile, like we heard earlier. And organizations are getting flatter and flatter. That means, like I said earlier, titles mean nothing. There's no career ladder anymore to climb up on. It's just like a jungle gym, every organization, if you've noticed that. And so we can't wait to be promoted. And if you're a contractor, good luck being promoted, right? And that's why you choose leverage, to work with the right people on the right work, on the right problems, get paid some good money, hopefully working less hours, because you've negotiated that with your customers. So if that sounds good so far, let's go into the 4 types of career capital that give us BAs that leverage. Now, every BA throughout their career builds these types of 4 career capitals. Number 1 for me is domain. That's how well you understand your industry, your system, your platforms, or business functions. In other words, are you fluent in your client's world? I'll get into more of that in the next slides. Second one for me is delivery, the tangible value that you help deliver. And can you do that consistently? Can you consistently, as a BA, turn complex topics into clarity and results? Third one is IP. What's IP, anyone? But what does it really mean? Creativity, yes. Any other answers? Copied, I'll get to it a bit. Reusable, yes. It depends on how you classify your IP, if it can be copied or not. But it's your templates, it's your playbooks, it's your reusable assets that you take from one project to another to bring more value more easily. And the fourth biggest one really is influence. How much and how well do you shape decisions in an organization, within your project and outside your project? These are your facilitation skills, your do stakeholders trust you, basically? Like, do stakeholders or the business, do they trust you to lead the room? That's influence. I don't know why it's doing that again. I think I put too many animations in. All right, so let's get into domain capital. Now, this is the one that defines your expertise or gives you that SME status. We work with a lot of SMEs, but how many of us would like to be SMEs? No one? Yeah, I can see some hands going up like that. Because then you get the BA to do the work, right? Now, who here has worked across more than 3 industries or systems? Lots of hands. Me too. Who here, keep your hand up. Keep your hands up for a minute. Who are these people have been called generalists? Also me. All right. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it depends on how you choose to go from there. So we have all these types of employees. I think Igor touched on the T-shaped employees who are in demand. I think there's more demand towards the newer kinds, the M's and the V's. But I-shape is basically, one thing, that's it. T-shaped is you've got shallow knowledge in a broad range of areas, so you know a lot of stuff, but little bits of it. Deep knowledge in one area. M-shaped is shallow knowledge in a lot of broad areas and deep knowledge in multiple areas. Hopefully the sweet spot is somewhere between here where you want to get to, so like a W, right? But domain capital is essentially your ability, depending on whichever type you choose to go with, how deep can you go on a certain topic and how well do you know it? That could be, like I said, your industry, utilities, insurance, whatever it is, your systems or your functions. And then that's what brings that differentiation or your unique ability in the market. So the question to really ask yourself is, what domain do you own? And once you ask that question from yourself, let's look at how you can build that domain capital if you feel like there's more to it that you can build. So another question, what's the fastest way for you to stand out as an expert in that sea of generalists? So you all had your hands up when you said you've been called a generalist. I'm sure you've been trying very hard in your career to stand out and not being called that unless you're happy with that. So what strategies have you implemented so far to stand out? learning the domain, okay? Or you master the domain, right? Anyone remember that? Wax on, wax off. And then there was Jackie Chan with the jacket on, jacket off in the second movie. But I love acronyms, so I just came up with a few that'll hopefully help cement the ideas. But essentially, what I mean by master, or the first word there, map, is you understand the lay of the land. Like, for example, if you're working in utilities, which I'm doing right now, you got to understand the business cycles. There's billing, there's metering, there's custom operations. It's not just about requirements. That's common for any utility. But then if you work in water, which is a specific essential service, you got to understand how it comes from the source to the tap. It goes through a digital meter, and you get a bill. And then you flush the toilet, goes through a sewer, gets recycled, and you drink it again. No, that doesn't happen. Right? If you work in insurance, for example, you got to understand the difference between claims and premiums and everything in between. And so that's how you figure out what the high level of the domain is. And then every business has patterns. And it's good if you can absorb these fast. Now, every organization has these hidden rhythms, but very common problems as well, and how things get done. Maybe it's finance approvals. I'm sure all of you seen finance approvals get delayed wherever you work, right? So spot those patterns early, or you might have met with a product owner who wanted the reports yesterday or last week, but you don't have the data to do it. So spot these patterns early. That kind of clues on how things really get done, as opposed to what strategy is written. And then specialize with purpose, with intention. Pick an area within that cycle where your skills will create a lot of value. And then specialize on that. It could be finance systems, it could be customer transformation, it could be HR, it could be process redesign, whatever works, whatever that creates the most value, and whatever your skills are going to do to help that with. And then another good way to learn is to teach someone. Because when you teach someone, you get to learn it twice, and then that gets cemented in your head. And stay curious, like evolve with the field, read, network at events like this, attend webinars. The moment you stop learning, your career capital just keeps going down. Because right now, at the speed of which information is coming up, it's hard to keep up. So don't try to keep up with everything, keep up with what's relevant to you. And then that's what's going to help you see the trends and recognize those opportunities early, because the best jobs aren't advertised. They're really created through having those conversations, recognizing those opportunities early by seeing those patterns and helping solve those problems. So that depth is what will earn you that credibility. Breadth will keep you relevant. So pick an area, I guess, what you'd love to master this year or next year, depending on what your goals are. Next one up is delivery capital. That's your track record of impact, how you show your value, and with proof. Now, what you probably have there is a little example of bad delivery. A lady orders a dress, it comes 8 kilos later. Useless, right? We've got people who deliver late, that's not going to work for us. Whereas you have a sushi restaurant there, the Pelican's bringing fresh fish while customers are eating. That's the kind of delivery you need to be demonstrating to be recognized for delivery, or of having delivery capital with you. Because when people hear your name, do they think of activity or results? That's the important thing to think about. Because BAs measure themselves not by output, but by impact and outcomes. So it's not how many projects you've been in, also not how many years you've been a BA for, or a PM, whatever your title is. It's how much value, how much tangible value you've delivered through those projects and through those initiatives. And what's the only way to prove your value? Unfortunately, I don't have a different acronym for this. You must deliver. No other way around it. So that's my track record of impact when I used to be an Uber driver. Not bad, right? 2,000 deliveries, 98% satisfaction rate, 4.8 star rating. My LinkedIn's no good compared to this, right? So here's how you deliver. Define the outcome early, clarify your success metrics from day one when you're introduced into a project or initiative, and keep it front and center. We write it down in a Confluence page and forget it, or we put it in a strategy document and forget it. And things like we'll know this project works when cycle time drops by 20% or finance approvals get speedy by X percentage. And then you got to execute. There's no other way around it, because consistency is what beats that intensity. You have those peaks and troughs, but if you can be consistent on a bad day and do the small things well, really well, you're going to be in the top. And learn and adapt fast. I mentioned IP, but I also said copy or steal. But do it properly. Reference it. So reference other people's IP when you do copy it. If something works, just copy it and mention that I copied it from there. As simple as that. Copy frameworks from other projects and make them better, make them your own. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's not going to get you anywhere. And then show your work. Illustrate the impact once you've copied and made something work for you. Show them that it worked. Tell the story, use visuals, use dashboards, before and after process maps, the stuff that you already do. Let the data tell your story. And then validate that with evidence. Back up those results with metrics, document it. With stakeholder quotes. If a stakeholder quotes you on a Teams message saying that you've done a brilliant job, take a screenshot of it, keep it. That's in your career capital bank. You don't have to post that on LinkedIn, but keep it so because that's what's going to give you the confidence to go and show your track record of impact. Document those lessons, validate with evidence, evolve every time, meaning document those lessons, and then repeat that until you get that recognition. And these three here are 3 books that I like to keep on my desk when I'm dealing with imposter syndrome. They're very easy to read flashcardy books. So it's got strategies around how you can do all of this. It's just about being creative in what some people think is a boring job. I don't think doing BA is a boring job at all. But it just helps you be creative around it. So if I asked your team what you're known for, what would they say? That's your delivery capital. That's your track record of impact. Now, getting results is that enough? It's never enough, right? So you also need to bring people with you. And that's what is called influence capital. Can I have a quick show of hands? Who here has had to deliver a change when no one wanted to change? So how do you do it? Get them all excited, but how long does that last? Show the benefit and value. Any others?
Take people on the journey.
Beautiful. Yep.
Sell the concept to the executives and then force everybody else to.
Try to get the executives to sell it as well. Yep, spot on. Welcome to the world of influence. It's basically how you shape outcomes through others. So what's the easiest way to do this? There's a lot of ways that we discussed, but what's the easiest way to do it? EQ? What's EQ? How does that help? Have empathy? But that's hard stuff. I asked for an easy way. Yeah, but I'm looking for an easy way. Much easier. Start a rumor. Gossip. Right? I told you I like acronyms. Right? But for real, it works. You got to have all of that. The EQ, the transparency, all of that. When I say gossip, I'm not saying say bad things about people. That's tattling. When I say gossip, I mean this stuff. Gauge the room. Like notice in a meeting, when you're having those engagement sessions, who's checked out, who's skeptical, who's on board. And then observe the energy. If the meeting feels flat, someone's probably scared of the change. That's EQ. Yeah. So call it out, but gently. Right? And then simplify your messages. Instead of spreadsheets, use journeys. Or tell people, if you're implementing finance, for example, I'd speak about finance because that's what I've been implementing for so long. Imagine approving an invoice in 1 click instead of 5 or 15, really in some cases. And share the why. Link every change that you're trying to implement in the organization back to the bigger goal or the strategy, that North Star that I told you about earlier in delivery. It could be cost savings, it could be your customer experience, it could be compliance, you name it. Link it back, every change to your benefit or your strategy. And then focus on the outcome, not on the ego. So yes, it's good to get the stakeholders in, the execs in and try to push that change. But the key messaging around it, it's very important that you get involved as a BA to work with your change manager to understand what the outcome is, not just trying to control. And for God's sakes, don't take shortcuts. And don't cut corners, they will bite you in the back. See, these relationships compound only if you do it right. So today's critic might be tomorrow's friend or ally if you do it right. Final one, my favorite, is IP. So who is the one person in your organization that always seems to make things happen without authority?
Manager.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, yeah, manager. Sorry, one more slide to go before IP. But not necessarily the manager. You as the BA, you have that influence capital as well. And that's how you, what I showed you earlier is how you build on it. So, and that's why gossip is important as well. It's not what you say in the meeting, it's what people say after the meeting. So that's good to remember. Now that we've established how important gossip is for your career, but that's not enough to help you scale up. So let's look at the capital that turns your experience into a legacy after you've left the room. And that, my friends, is IP capital. So I heard intellectual property, so I'm not going to go and explain what that is. But as BAs, we are really good at documenting requirements, wants, and needs of our customers. But how many people actually read it? The BRD? 2 people, right? Developer and tester. Who else reads it? Really? Right?
If you need a sign off from a business team, maybe.
But they'll get someone else to read it and say it's okay. They're not going to read it, right? But this IP, your BRD is not your IP. So don't mistake that for IP. But this is where your work keeps working even when you're not in the room. And that's the sweet spot for me. And every project leaves behind 2 things. That's your deliverables and you. But the smart ones, they make sure that their thinking stays long after they're done with the project. And so IP is really how you scale. I'm a little short for time, so I'm going to go a little fast. So what's the smartest way to make your work outlive the project? Scale's the acronym I've come up with for that. And how do you scale your work? You systematize what works. Like I said earlier, don't reinvent the wheel. Copy something if you can. Capture your methods when you're working on something really important. And even if you think it's going to fail, just record yourself. And you might find that, oh, it actually worked. I wish I documented this. What I do is I just go on a Teams meeting by myself, and I just record myself. Keep it for later. If something worked, I'll give it to someone, get them to do a work instruction of it. That way I don't have to do it. And automate it or template, pretty obvious, because effort should never be a bottleneck. And be like a coder, like write the code once, reference it everywhere else. Leverage it, reuse it in a way that it builds momentum, and then expand your influence through reuse, where your name starts showing up in conversations that you're not in. So great BAs don't just deliver, they scale themselves. Because honestly, anyone can do the work. But the real pros, they build the way that the work gets done. If you're in the world of Agile, for example, most BAs get to be a Scrum Master sometimes. I like to go really tough on the Scrum coaching, get the basic concepts, and then let it run without me. If I can remove myself off it, that's more time for me. Everyone loves that. So this stuff is not rocket science, IP capital. It's your methods, it's your templates, it's your frameworks, it's your visual tools, and it's the changes that stick in a company. So how do you get to that tactician to a trusted advisor level? I've used the STAR method in interviews, just telling a story here, where I was once part of a tax program and I had no idea of how to do tax. My task was obvious to gather requirements, implement a tax module, and test and validate the advice of a Big Four. I was seen as just the BA. I called myself just the BA. Luckily, I had a SME who said, don't say that, you're much more than that. You're here to solve problems. I was like, oh, but I've got no tax or BAS knowledge. I don't even know what that is. So I went, spoke to my accountant, paid him an extra couple of $100, and learned what it is, buried my head in the ATO website, to know how it works. IP-wise, SMEs, they just get stuck at making decisions. So the easiest thing was a decision framework. Tried the Babok stuff, didn't really work, but I tried to go with the decision tree. If I did that tree, it would have grown bigger than the building. So I just went with a simple structure: options, pros and cons, risks and impacts, and easy Jira ticket type. Focused on delivery, nothing else you can do there. As a result, got my contract extended by about 18 months, shifted from that just the BA to a strategic contributor, where I got invited to exec groups to influence further automation for their organization. Now, what I have here and what you'll probably get in the slide pack is an example of how I've mapped that in how I map my stories on domain, delivery, influence, and IP. And there's a bit of instruction here on what you can do. If you take a minute, even today, to ask these questions: what's your domain? What's your track record? Where do you have influence? What IP you've created? You can hopefully end up with a good capital map that looks like this for you. And that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you've gained some value out of it.
Thank you, Seven. Are you open for any questions?
Yeah. I think we're almost out of time, but I'm okay for a question or two.
Cool. Anyone has any questions? Please raise your hand, and Shivani will present them with the mic. Yes, Shivani is there.
Maybe we can take questions later because we'll have the next section.
Is it?
That's cool. Yeah.
Shivani, maybe one question.
One question.
Yeah.
Just wondering with the IP, IP would be there, but you would definitely need domain to add value to the IP, isn't it?
Yes, it depends on what industry you are in, and when you say domain, it depends on what that domain is. Are you talking when you say domain? Business knowledge. So that is your industry. Yeah. But domain knowledge could also be system knowledge. It depends on how you want to position yourself. Do you want to position yourself as a systems expert or an industry expert? Industry expert usually goes down the SME path. System expert, as long as you're vendor agnostic, helps you be relevant enough, but also have that expert status. And then based on that, you can build on how you configure a certain system for an industry or a particular workflow. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. Sure. Thank you.
No stress.
Thank you, guys. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thanks. I ran over time. I practiced for 20 minutes.
No, I think, I don't know.
Conversation.
It was nice. I didn't want to show the stop card. I was quite hesitant.
Show what?
I listened to they show the short stop card.
No, that's okay. It's good. Thank you, Tali.
Probably what time? 11:15?
Rob.
Oh, 11:05.
11:05. He's got to come. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we can't delay him.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
11:15.
Eminem was good.
Eminem was good?
Yeah,
You liked it? Oh,
yeah, it
nice.
worked. It was real. I was almost going to snap it up. But
Cool. Are you
Thanks.
staying in this room or are you going?
I'm going to stay in this room.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice speech, really
Yeah.
enjoy it, very
Thank you.
engaging, and I find it very helpful.
Thank you so much.
I connect you via
On LinkedIn?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Keep in touch.
Each and every slide were amazing, and the delivery was even better.
Thank you so much. Sorry?
The slide?
Yes, I'll share it.
Okay.
I've uploaded it, but I'll share
Yeah,
it.
because a lot of them would ask for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I tried to keep it under 20, but then it happens.
I'll just check.
Yeah, please.
I got changed last minute. I was actually in your session before.
Disappointed, but he was better than you.
Thank you, man. That's good.
Are you going?
No, I'll stay here. Stay here. Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I'll chat with you in a bit. Sorry,
How did you go?
not bad.
You can relax now.
Yes, I can. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Long time.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
How'd your session go?
Just on time.
Also,
Didn't run too much
I
over.
want to watch it later, but
I've got a
I know you
recording.
would have smashed it.